Hello friends, hope you all are doing great. So in this video we'll the understand about of the different options in a hypermesh. So until here we have done completely about of understood about of what is CAE, what are the different departments, complete installation of the software, installation of the hypermesh software. If you have not seen that video, please go and watch all my previous videos. You'll get an understanding about of what is CAE, how is it important in mechanical engineering, what are the different departments in CAE, what are the different forces, and how is it important, what are the different sectors which are in which the CAE is important. So you'll get an everything about of understanding about of each and everything. So I have created the complete playlist uh, in a YouTube, so you can easily go each follow in each and every step, so that you can get understanding about of completely everything. So in this video what we are going to understand it. So since we have understood about of installation part in the previous video, if you have not seen that, please go and watch. It's because it's very important. Of course, if you don't have any software, watching this video is useless thing. So in this video we'll understand about of UAE, what are the like how is the hypermesh tool is actually, what are the different options in that is important for us while we are working on a models. Okay, next, what are the important options. Next, we need to understand the shortcut keys. What are the important shortcut keys are important because again, end of the day, it's efficiency. So how efficient you are working in your workforce, because we need to work in a certain limited time. Um, you can't take very large amount of time on a small component or something. So we need to have, so for that, the first thing is we need to understand about a shortcut keys, how to keep a shortcut keys in a hypermesh. Okay, so we'll look forward it. And importing of files. So of course, importing of files are important. Importing of files and exporting of files. We'll understand what are and importing and exporting of files, and from where you can get a some also open source models. Okay, for practice you need some kind of components, and Hypermesh by default provides few components. Okay, from there you can start your modeling process, and you can practice some little about of components. You can easily do different types of modelings, that is 2D modeling and 3D modeling. So again, in 2D modeling you'll basically understand about of this thing, that is there are steel components, basically 1D 2D components. We'll do meshing about of it. You'll able to understand about of what I am talking about 2D and 3D in when we are in a software and we are working on some different models. So you'll able to understand, you can able to differentiate between, okay, what is 2D model and what is 3D model. It's just bit of time, just relax. Okay, I'm just giving you an bird's eye view overview about of things what we are going to cover in this video. 2D and 3D components. So just understand about of what is 2D. 2D is nothing but it's kind of a steel component, I can say a BIW components, when we are talking about in reference to the or applications with the automobile industry. So BIW components, we basically just in roughly we say that, okay, you work on steel components, you work on BIW components. Okay, so we basically do 2D components. It's not means that okay, 2D components, and again in 3D components we'll also work on, it's also be said as like solid components. In that will form a tetra and hexa components. Will basically in automobile industry we say about of plastic components. Okay, so we'll understand about of what are solid components, what are the steel components, okay, BIW components, etc., and each and everything in upcoming videos also. Okay, so because we have to work actually on a meshing part, so in this video we are just talking roughly about of getting an understanding about of the software, getting understanding about of the different options in that. Okay, so that we will feel confidence when we are confident when we are working on. From next video we'll work on 2D meshing. Okay, we'll start 2D meshing, then after completion of 2D meshing we'll work on 3D meshing. Okay, so by that time we'll able to understand about, okay, these are options are important, these are options are important. Okay, how to import this, importing, how to import these files, and these how to export these files, what are the different importing things. So I think you got an understanding, right? Chill. Now import the file. First we need to importing of the file is important. So open the software Hypermesh. If you have installed the software, so you can easily see this kind of a symbol, or you can basically search it like Hypermesh. Basically, if you didn't file it, like I just want to show you Hypermesh, so you can easily see this kind of thing. and you just click it. In few seconds it will be open. Just be patient. Mechanical engineers have to be patient. Yeah, so Ulja Sim, it's opening. Okay, just be patient. Okay, so it's opened. So you'll get first window as this toolbar. Okay, sorry, this profile. So what these profiles are, actually I have explained you in my previous videos also. In companies we have different departments. Different departments are specifically working on some certain domain. Okay, if you are working in a crash domain, so I have clearly explained in that video. You can watch that video also about different departments in the CAE. So in that we have I have explained you about the crash department. I have explained you about NVH, what is your body dura and everything. I think the previous video only, these videos, previous videos only. So what is crash, what is NVH, what is, so according to that, will in industry we use these different kinds of profiling. Okay, while meshing, and from initial stages it's not important for you. If you are a fresher, you don't need to worry about, okay, what profile I should need to use it. Okay, when you go to industry, automatically you'll get to understand, okay, what profile, on which profile you have to do the further processes like meshing and other things. So for the time being, just basically use any kind of thing profiling. So I prefer LS-DYNA or Nastron and Abacus, use any kind of thing. So LS-DYNA, basically it's according to the profiling, the few options would be changing. So I would be preferring like LS-DYNA would be okay. For basic meshing, you won't be facing any problem if you use any other profiling also. Okay, this is the window. At last we are in the software, right? A lot of people are, we thought like only the theory class. Now we are getting actually into the software. So what are the things in this thing? First we'll start with an importing thing, because if we understood about of importing and software, we can just also see some kind of an components, we can understand about of rotating and all thing. Sort of like in file you can see about of importing. Here you can see about of, in this model part, model solver deck geometry, here you can see about of this symbol. So what this symbol signifies? This symbol signifies that in this file there is both the elements and the component on the surface part, on the also the surface region. And then solver deck signifies this is importing of only elements. Okay, so what basically we'll do is, while we are in industry, we'll basically have the surface part and the element part. So we'll do the elements. We get surface part from the other departments. Maybe the designing department will work on designing part, and they will give us the surface part, like cat part basically, if I can signify you clearly, cat part. So that cat part we need to import it. Sometimes in that we have only the cat part, we don't have an element. Okay, so from there if we are importing any surface, then we'll go to geometry. If we are importing any elements, then we'll go to this element part. You can easily see that this symbol, right? Surface, elements, and this is combined, both geometry and elements. Okay, if you are sending to directly project to your engineer, or you are setting to a client, or you're sending to a client, or your team leader or somewhere, so you basically you have both the things. Sometimes he will say that, okay, just send me the elements. Okay, so then you have to make a key file of that and you have to send it. That's the secondary thing, we'll understood in the future, but this is what the elements and thing. So again, I just want to make you understand about of, there is a solid, there is a surface, then there is an elements, and this combinedly there is a other file. Okay, clear? Yeah, of course you have clear, right? So this is what I am to explain you. Now we'll just move towards importing and exporting file, right? So let's say, for example, if I have to import the model, so import the model from where? So I have came here, but I just want you to know the steps. So in your C drive only, in this your C drive, you just go to C drive, then program files, you can see this Altair option. Go to Altair 2021, then HW desktop. Here we have demo. Basically in this we have demo files of Hypermesh. So these are demo files. Okay, in this demo you can import any files from here. I have already checked these files, so I'm saying just work on these two files, cleaned up geometry and solid. These two files are having the good surfaces so that you can practice on the soft surfaces. So in other things they have elements, they have rigids, which are initial stages you are not able to understand. So cleaned up geometry and solids. So I'll just import for time being cleaned up geometry. Open, import. So here you can see ready. If you get, the first thing you need to understand, fit option, fit. Okay, so wherever it is in the screen on a display, it comes directly to your fit point. Okay, next thing, you understood about of importing. It's the same thing when you goes to exporting thing also. So if you go to export geometry model, it's the same thing. Whatever I have shown you here, you can also do from here. Import of the model, you can import from here. When you are importing the element part, you can import from here also. So here just we need to just go to the path wherever there is, because in companies we have a different path. So from there we have to import it. Okay, we can't quit. Sometimes we can't put directly into our local drive. So there is some outsourced drive. There is some kind of other servers. Okay, so in that there is a files. Okay, so from there we need to import it. Clearly, I think you got an understanding about of it. Elements, just import. Next, again in the software you can cat part, you can import from here. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Next, exporting also same thing. Export, you have to just in surfaces, you have to just take care of some few things. All and display, I will show when in future what is export, because here there's few options that we need to keep in mind. What is it means? All is nothing but the in your display, in your file, it's not possible, like it is not important that it should have only one component. You can have multiple components, and when you are working in industry you have to keep multiple components. Okay, hundreds of components, 50s of components, tens of components, you have to keep it. Okay, so in that component you have to show, okay, if you have to export it, only this component, this the component which is on my display, so you will show, will select display only. But if we have to show whatever the component, how much component, whatever the number of components I have to choose. So we have, so I'll just put it all, and my file, complete files will be shown. And if he has asked for your one file and you have sent every file, then he's going to abuse you. Okay, so be active and understood about, okay, how much components do I need to file. Again, measurements here, so you can from metadata also you can put it, or you can just go to mmkens or something. MKS, it's not a big deal, or mmkenms, so you can put it like source units, millimeters, basically millimeters only, and guess the file and the surface. So which kind of file? It's basically a step file basically. So here we from metadata, you'll basically select here source units, millimeters. So from here you can easily export the file. So this is exporting. Again, we'll come here and we'll understand watch on everything. So I just want to make you understand about the software.